10th ICC Mathematics, Chapter 2 Banking, Type 1, Finding the Maturity Value. Let's read the sum. Suraj opens a recurring deposit scheme and deposits rupees 800. So, principal becomes rupees 800. That is, Suraj will deposit in the bank rupees 800 monthly. For how much time? So, time is n, that is 2 years. Normally we follow monthly basis, so convert year into month. So 24 months. If the rate of interest is 9% per annum, which bank is giving to Suraj, so 9%. Now before we start, let us understand what the sum is asking. Find the amount payable at the end of 2 years, meaning maturity value. After 2 years, how much he will get, including the amount invested plus interest. So let us first see how much Suraj is investing. So sum invested by Suraj is P into N, meaning 800 rupees he is paying for how many months? 24 months. That is his investment in the bank, that is rupees 19,200. Now, Suraj is more interested in the interest, so let us calculate his interest which he will get from the bank. So, interest formula, don't forget to write the formula, P into n plus 1 upon 2 into 12 into R upon 100. Let us substitute the values. You have to be very quick in calculation plus smart in calculation. So 800 into 24 into 25 into 9 upon 2 into 12 into 100. Be smart in calculation. So when you calculate this, it comes to rupees 1800. So students, you have seen in these two lines, we have seen how much Suraj have invested and how much Suraj is getting from the bank as his interest. Now the time has come after 2 years, how much Suraj will get from the bank, and that amount is called what? Maturity value. Maturity value is nothing but how much Suraj have invested plus how much he will get from the bank. So here if you see, Suraj have invested rupees 19,200. That is his own amount which he should get, but he is interested in the interest, that is rupees 1800. When you add this, it comes to rupees 21,000. Correct, students? So, is it so simple? Type 1, finding the maturity value. So, here, let us see the steps in the end. Sum invested, interest, and in the end, maturity value. I hope you understood type 1 very well. Type 1 is finding the maturity value. I hope you will practice at home. Thank you, students. In the next video, we are going to see type 2. Let's see what is type 2. Finding the rate of interest. Let us see the sum. Umesh deposited rupees 500. So, principal is rupees 500 per month in the recurring deposit scheme and receives, when you read this sum, receives means after some 2.5 years he will receive 16,550, meaning maturity value is rupees 16,550. Maximum of the students cannot identify the difference between interest and maturity value. Time is 2.5 half years, that is 30 months. I hope this is clear. So after reading the sum, the main thing is this part. Time is 30 months and you need to identify 16,500 is maturity value. Calculate the rate of interest by the bank. Okay students, there's a new formula which will come, but as I've taught you that always start with sum invested. So let us see how much Umesh have invested. So sum invested. Sum invested is a money which Umesh will get after maturity. That is for sure. Fine, that is fixed. He will get back. So that is P into N. So here Umesh is paying how much? He is paying monthly 500 rupees for how much? For how much time? For 30 months. Correct? That comes to 15,000. So this is investment of Umesh. Now, the difference between this, many students don't understand and they use a bigger formula. Instead of using big formula, we'll introduce one new formula. Interest. What is interest? Interest is difference between maturity value and sum invested. What is maturity value? Maturity value is 16,550 minus 15,000. So here the difference will give us the interest which Umesh will get from the bank. That is rupees 1,550. But what is question asking? Question is asking calculate the rate of interest. Now students, we can use the interest formula and find the rate of interest. So here interest is, you should know this formula perfectly. R upon 100. Correct? Now substitute the values. Let us substitute the values. P is rupees 500. Time is 30 into 31 into rate we don't know, upon which we have to calculate 2 into 12 into 100. Let us calculate by substituting interest value which we have calculated. So 1,550 is equal to, let us first calculate this part. You should be smart enough to calculate this. Correct students? So what we are left with is 5 into 5 into 31 into R upon 4. Correct? Let us find up the answer. So R will be 1550 into 4 upon 5 into 5 into 31. When you calculate this, 1s are 50s are. This comes to 8%. This is a very common sum which is asked. So here we can calculate the rate of interest, but instead of using this formula, we can first find the interest and then using the interest formula we can find the rate. I hope you understood this. You will practice this kind of sum for your board exam. All the best. Welcome back students. Let us see type 3. Finding monthly installment. Shikhar deposit a certain sum of money. This sum says how much Shikhar is investing, we don't know. That is principal. For money every month in a recurring deposit account for 2 years. So here n is equal to 2 years. As I told you, always convert into months, so it is 24 months. Fine students, we'll read further. If the bank pays interest at the rate of 10%, so rate percent is 10%, and Shikhar receives rupees 66,250. Now, as I told you, students become confused at the time of exam and they cannot identify what it is. Receives meaning as a maturity value. Yet is clearly mentioned, so it is maturity value. Fine, maturity value, it is how much? It is rupees 66,250. Now in this sum, we have to find how much Shikhar have invested every month. Okay, as I have already told you, start the sum with sum invested. So let us start sum invested. But for sum invested, the formula is P into N. This time we don't know the principal. Fine, we'll keep it as P and we are investing for 24 months. Fine students, so that comes to, let us write it properly. So 24P. Fine. Now the next step is interest. Let us find interest. Again, for interest we require principal, but we'll substitute principal as P. So principal is P. Always write the formula n plus 1 upon 2 into 12 into R upon 100. Correct students? Now let us substitute the values. This time again we don't know P, but the time is 24 months. So 24 into 25 into rate is 10 upon 2 into 12 into 100. Fine. Correct students? So here if we calculate this, it comes to 5P. 5P upon 2. If you have noted, we have calculated sum invested, which is incomplete because we don't know principal. We have calculated interest, which is also incomplete because we don't know principal. Let us reach on the last part, maturity value, as we go in step. So maturity value, if you recollect the formula, maturity value is nothing but sum invested plus interest. Correct students? So sum invested plus interest. Now maturity value in this sum we know. So what is maturity value? Maturity value is 66,250. Sum invested, as we have calculated above, it is 24P plus interest is 5P upon 2. Now instead of moving the values here and there, I will always recommend remove LCM. So as you remove LCM, LCM is 2. So that comes to 132500 is equal to 48P plus 5P. I hope you understood. Into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. Is it clear students? When you calculate this, it comes to 132500 is equal to 53P. Therefore, P is equal to 132500 upon 53. When you calculate this value, 53 ones are, and it comes to 2500. So principal is rupees 2500. This sum was not so simple because of the missing P, but if you follow the step as I have taught you, sum invested, interest and maturity value, I am sure you will reach to the final answer. So we come to the conclusion. What sum of money did he pay? Who is he? Shikhar pays every month, that is 2500. I hope you will practice these kind of sums. All the best, students.